Let us start the videos. So in this live we are going to see about strings. So let us move on to the topic. First, in many programming languages, the C programming, in many programming languages string will be inbuilt, but only in C programming it is in a character array type. So we have to do it on our own method. Okay, in most modern languages like Python or Java, a string is a built-in data type. You just write like, for example, if you take Python, you'll just give string name. After that, the name of the string. After that, you will give some string like this. Hello world like this. But in C programming, you will give it in a memory layout of array. For example, there is no built-in data type for the strings in C programming. It is full of array of characters. If you store a string hello like this, so let us move on to the next line and see. So this will be look like this. The characters will be stored in this way. Here every character will be stored in the character array and it will be printed as a string. So at the end of this thing there will be a null pointer terminator. It will terminate the value. So that's why we are given this. This is the backward slash, after that a 0. So this null character is how C knows that where a string ends. Without this, C would keep reading the memory forever, causing some garbage output. So in this array, as you can see, there are 6 cells. So in this 6 cells, for the first 5 cells is covered with the string hello. After that, there is a backward slash and 0. This is because it is a special that it marks the end of the string. C string functions like printf and string length all stop when it hits this backward slash and 0. So that's why it is given here in a name. For example, if you declare any name, it will store like this. For example, I am giving the name of this string as name. Okay, the character array is like this. So in here, if I try to access the array same elements, for example, name of 0, so it will print the hex that is stored in this. So we can use the indexing value to print the string that is stored in it. So if I try to print like name of 4, so that time I'll get O. So using this index value, same like the array, will print the characters that is stored in the string. So the string is nothing but the array of characters. So if you try to print size of, after that if you give the string name here, so that time you will get 6 as the output, because the original string length is 5, but adding this null terminator you will get 6. So 5 characters plus 1 null pointer will return the output of 6. So that time what you have to do, you have to use one more inbuilt method for string, that is strlen, string length. If you give string length of name, so that time it will remove this and after that it will only print the size of the string. So now let us see how to declare strings. Mainly there are 4 ways. We will see all of the ways. So first I'll include the header file as include standard input output.h. After that, for doing string operations like string len, you have to import string header file, that is as include string.h. So after that, the main function, at the end of the main function we have to return something, so return 0. So if it reaches this return 0, it will terminate the program because it is the end of this program. So first let us see the first method, that is array initialization with the string literal. So method 1 with the string literal. So in this character, there is a data type of this array, and city and square brackets, after that the string. Let me give Chennai here. So this is the first way, that within here you will not give any size, it will be dynamically changed. The C will automatically add the backslash at the end of this array, the backslash 0. So it will, the C compiler will always add it, and if you try to print the size, it will be character plus 1 because of this backward slash 0. So the second one is array with explicit size. Method 2, array with the explicit size. That means we will declare the size of this array. For example, character and city 2. Here I will give 10. After that I will give Mumbai. So in here the maximum length of the string can be 9 because the 10th digit will be contained with this backward slash 0. So if I give any values like this, it will only take the first those values. So I will just give this only right now. So after that, let us see the next one. And one more thing, that for example the inner will be look like this. So let me give command here. So M U M B A I. After that, all of them are empty here. So those will be look like backward slash, and everything will be 0. For the 4 digit, that will be 0. So this is how it will be stored. That is 0 means nothing but the null character will be stored. The null terminator will be stored here after every character. If you add any values, it will be removed. So let us remove this. So let us see the third type. That is the third method of declaration and initialization. So the third method is, it will give us the character. For example, char. So I am giving city 3. So now I want to give, for example, let me give Delhi here. So I give the size as 6. So now I'll give characters D, E and L. After that H and I and a backward slash 0. So in this backward slash 0, you have to also take it as a character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 are the string values, and the last one is nothing but the terminator of this string. When the C compiler reads it, it will know that this string is ended. So that's why it is there. So let us move on to the next method, that is method 4. So in this method 4, we are going to declare one string, but you cannot modify the string. Okay, first for that we have to use one keyword, that is constant. So if you use constant, you can't change it. So after that we have to give the character array. So char. After that I am using pointer char 4. So next a string value. So this string values cannot be changed. So let us try to print all of this. So printf city2, city3 and city4. So for printing this you have to use %s, that is nothing but string. So for string also you have to use %s. So let us run it and check. So all of them working perfectly. All 4 types is printing same values without showing any errors. So let us see size and length. So let's move on to that. So first, what is size? So in this, size is nothing but total memory bytes of this array. If you use size of here, it will return total memory bytes that can be stored in the array, that is total memory bytes of the array. So when you use string length strlen, so this method will return the number of visible characters that is present in the array. So it will stop when it reaches this backward slash 0. So let us try to print it, the size. So for that I'll use one printing statement, printf. I'll use backward slash m for the next line. So after that we'll print size of city1, that is city, is equals to so then percentage. I want to use u here. It is nothing but unsigned length. So after that I'll use one more backward slash for going to the next line. So next I'll use size of city. So it will print the size of the city. So let us check for the next one, printf. So within this we are going to print for the next line. So string, we are going to do string length. So string length of city is u. After that there is no need for this. String length of city. So these are two methods, one is size of, another one is string length. So let us check here. So see here, the size of the city is 8 and the string length is 7, because it will have the value that is backwards slash 0, that is the terminator. So that's why we have to use string length here. So let us check for the second string, printf. So here within it I'll give city2. After that printf, then string length of city2. So let us check. So it is city1 and city. So size of city2 and length of the city2. So the size of city2, let us see here, it stores that Mumbai. So after that, when you try to see the string length, the size is 10 and string length is 6. Because this is the size, that is 10 is going to print. So that's why in string you have to use string length instead of size of. So let us try to change the values. So here I will like to change the value of city1. So for that, city, so I will change the first digit. So we have given, that is Chennai C. So I will change this to smaller character. So after that I will print it. So let us run. See here, this is changed to the smaller character. So we can access the values of the string using the index values. So let us try to change for the city4. So see here, it throws an error in the compiler as well. That is, it can't change the value because of this constant. So we can't change the value because it cannot be changed. But for the city3 and city2, it can be changed. So in this method is the permanent string that you can't change the values of it within it. So first, this header is for including printing and scanning of. So after that, for this string.text header file is used for importing the libraries like string length, string copy and string comparison operations. So after that, this is the main function. It is the entry point of the every program. So after that, we are printing 4 types of array using 4 different methods. So after that, we are printing it and we are checking size of and string length. The size of will return the size of this array and string length will return the original length of the string, that is nothing but the visible characters. So after that, we are printing it and we can change the value of non-permanent string, that is if you don't use this constant, and after that return 0. So return 0 will be returning 0 to the OS. In C, return 0 from main means it is success. That means the program is executed successfully. So non-zero, if it not return 0 there, so that means some kind of error will be happen there itself. So as you can see this method, we have given the value of 10 and we only assign 6 characters. So that time after 6 characters, so if you see here, I will remove this. So the size is 10 here. So M, U, M, B, A, after that I for the first 6 characters. There are 4 is left there. So I will make it big. So here there are 4 empty spaces there. All of them will have this terminator /0, /0 and /0. So this is how the internal structure of this array will be stored. it will all have this backward slash 0, that is nothing but the string terminator. It will tell the string is being terminated there itself. So for that you can simply don't need to initialize this size. So that time the compiler will only assign these much values with the end of a single backward slash 0. So let us move on from how to read strings from the user like those things, and we'll print the outputs. So let me close it. So let us remove this. So this is the main function. I am including two header files. One is for printing and scanning, and in another one is for doing string operations. So now let us see. There are three ways to read the string from the user. First one is scanf. The normal way is scanf. After that, percentage yes for string data type. After that, the address ampersand str. If you have any string like character and string with some size of 100. So this will get the output and get the input, and it will paste it. So this will do it will scan the input. For example, if I give any value like new 20, if I scan using scanf, it will only scan the first word, because if any next line or any space is read by the compiler, it will stop there itself. There could not be any space, any tab or any new line that will stop at the space and cannot read the multi-word strings. It can only read single word strings. So after that, the next method, that is get yes. So this get yes string will, what it is doing, it is deprecated. It will read until the new line. It has no size limit and it can easily overflow the vector. So most of the time we will not use this getters. So another thing that we will be using is f get yes. So in this f getters, first we will give the value. So after that the n, after that standard stdin, that is getting the input. So this n is nothing but the size. For example, if I give, this is the maximum count that it can store. So this is the input. So if you give more than 100 characters, it will only read the first 100 characters. So it will read n minus 1 characters. For example, if you give 100 characters, it will be only read 99 characters, because the one will be go for this backward slash 0. So if you want to read single line, that means the single word, you will use scanf, and a multi-line word, that you will be using this fgets. So let us see some more problems there. So let me remove this. So for example, I'll declare some character names, that is string. So for example, first name. So I'll give some size of 50. So after that, character and last name is also 50. So I can get user that address. So address, for this I'll give 100 at the space. So I'm getting 3 inputs. So for first name we'll be getting single word. So for that, printf enter your first name. So we are going to only scan the word, so that time we will be using scanf. Percentage yes, first name. So after that, I want to get the last name. That is also a single word. So that time also we don't need any of them. So that time we can simply use scanf last name. So here there is one more thing, that if you give 49 yes here, so that time what it will give is, it will give maximum characters 49 that it can store, and it will leave some space, that is one space for the backward slash 0. So that time it is being used. So after that we are getting input, that is nothing but the last name. So after that we can get the address from the users. So for that, before that I want to get the address. So first here we can do one more thing, that is I want to use while loop here. I will explain it later that why. So while I will get the character to store it, while it is not equals to next line, because this word will leave some next line. If I didn't catch it and use the next line here, that is f gets here, it will store the next line as the next input. So that time we have to first use this to consume the leftover next line, leftover characters. It will consume the leftover characters. So now let us print enter the address. Or else enter your full address. So after printing it, we have to get the input from the user. So f get. So I'll give, this is I have given address. So in this address, I'll give size of this array, that is address. So it is the size, maximum size it can hold. So after that, we have to give standard in. So this will get and store it. So here it is f gets. So we are getting here, why we are using this, because before you are scanning anything, the compiler will left over some spaces or characters that you are given. So that time you are using this while get char to get the leftover characters. So after that you are getting the input from the user. So this in the size of, it will have the total size of the character that can be stored within this string, and we are getting this standard in for getting input from the terminal or the compiler. So now we can do one more thing, that is we have to remove new line from the full address. That means the address. So I can create this method for removing this address. So for that I'll create one more thing, that is void. I want to remove the new line. So for that I'll create one inbuilt function. So for that in, after that length, I want to calculate the length. So the length is, I am using inbuilt method, that is string length. So after that, if my length is greater than 0 and my last character string of length -1 is next line. Okay, I am checking my length is greater than 0 and my last character is next line. So if it is next line, I want to change this to end of the string. So the end of the string is / 0. So now I am calling it to remove the last next line. So after that I will get the last name from the user. So now I can print these as the user's details. So see here, I am writing one method to remove this next line, because if I didn't do that, the last name will be not shown. So let us try to print this and see what are the errors happening when I remove this new line and this leftover characters getter. So I'll print some spaces and your details. So this will work. So after that, first I want to print the first name. So printf the first name. After that, the last name of the user. After that, I want to print the address. The address is stored in this address. Finally, I want to print his full name. So printf /n for going to the next line. So his full name is %s after %s for first name and last name. First name, after that last name. So this will print first name of him and the last name of him. So let us run it. So my first name I'll give Thomas. I'll give Tanisha. 123 for West Africa. After that, I'll give Europe. It's just a random address. So it is getting the input. So I have given the last. So I have changed this. I have given wrong input here. So my first name, I'll give Thomas. After that, I'll give the address. So West Bengal 23 New Street. After the street, I want to give the last name. I'll give Edison. So see here, first name, last name, and the address, and this Thomas Edison. So if I didn't give this line, so let us see what will happen. So now let us check here. First, I would like to give the same input. So some values and West Street of Bangalore. And I'll give some more values, that is hello. So now it is working. So if I give /n in the end of the string, so let us give some values and some value with /n. So some more values. So it is printing correctly. So let us move on to the next one. Before that, I'll remove this one. and see what's happening here. So first I like to give West and space. See here, the space I have given is taken as the input for this address. So that time we have to uncomment it, and I'll run one more time. So now if I run it and give some name and give space, so that time it will still ask, because it is getting the character until it goes to the next line, and it will remove the leftover characters. So now we can give some values to the address. So it will work. So while getting the string, if you use normal scanf and give some space, so that time you have to use get character using a while loop to get the values. So I am getting while my get character is not equal 0, I will remove all other values and print it. So let us move on to next topic, how to do that. So we can check one more thing, that is string length, to check how many characters that are stored in this first name and last name, like that. So I'll printf. So here first I want to print the length of the first name. So now first name length is, after that we have to use percentage. It is unsigned long, so for that I have give lu. So after that I'll give some characters, these many characters are there. So next we have to give string length of first name. So printf /n, and the last name length is, this lu is nothing but unsigned long. So let us give, so Billy 12 Los Angeles. So it is printing the address. After printing it, it is printing how many characters are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5. So 5 and 5, total of 10 characters. The first name is 5 characters and the last name is another 5 characters. So let us see one more thing. First we will see how this code runs one by one line. So this void new line remove is nothing but, if any next line is given in the string, so that time we are changing this next line to make it as the end of the string. So if there is no next line, that means there is no string terminator, it will give some garbage value. So for that I have created this method. So first I am calculating the length of it. After that I am checking if my length string length is greater than 0, that means more than 1, and it is not next line. If it is next line, the last character, so that time I will make it to the null terminator. So I am declaring 3 string names. After that I will get input from the user, and I am giving the maximum size of 49 strings, because the 50th will have the next line, terminator /0 to store it, and this while loop is used for getting the leftover characters that are previously given to the another string while we are using normal scanf. So if you are using fgetters for that, before that you have to make sure to use this line to get rid of the leftover values. So let us move on to the next topic, that is we are going to working with the individual characters that is present in a string. So as we can see before, that A string is an array of characters. So you can access any characters using its index notation value. For example, string of 5. So it may be string and it is string name of the index value. Using this you can access, or using a pointer value you can access the value that is present in the index of a character. So let us check it. So for that I'll remove all of this code. So first we will be using header file for the getting input. So as include standard input output dot h. So after that I want to import one more library as include. So in this I want to use C type dot h. So this library, this is nothing but the character type library. It will provide some inbuilt methods. For example, we can check if it is alphabet or if is it digit, or is upper method, is lower method, or it is lowercase or uppercase. So for that operations we have to include this character type, that is C type. So int main, after that return 0. So in this I'll write one program. So for that I'll declare one string, that is character. So I name it as, for example, we will name it as sequence, or else we can name it as sentence. So let me give, for example, I'll give size of 150. So the size is up to us. We can give how many characters we want. So I want to check vowels, consonants, digits, spaces, and special characters. So vowels, first I want to check vowels. After that will consonants. After checking the consonants, I want to check digits. So after digits, I want to calculate spaces. After spaces, special characters. These many things I want to count from a string. So I will initialize the index value with the value of 0. The iterator I is 0. So after that, I'll print enter the sentence. So after entering the sentence, we have to get it using fgets because there may be spaces. So now we have, what we are going to do, we are going to check character by character analysis. So for that I'll give printf, printing statement in the compiler. So then I'll give character by character analysis. I'm going to do character by character analysis. After that I'll get back to the next line. So we'll use a for loop here for I is 0 and I is less than string length of the sentence. So for checking the string length, you have to import the header file as include string.h. Using this header file, we can use this size of string length. So after that, I++. If you don't want to use this, we can do one more thing, that is the sentence of the current character is not equals to the last character of this string, that is this /0. So that time we won't need this string.h, we'll be just using this last character to iterate through the string. So then character, so I'll initialize with ch, sentence of I. So I'll store this current value in this variable for my purpose that we can easily access it using this ch. So the current character will be stored within this. So after that I want to printf that the current index. So after that 2d we are going to print a character, so that is %c, this character, after that the ASCII value. So every character will be defined with the ASCII value. So %d. So first one is index, after that the character ch, after that the ASCII value, that is also ch, but we have to convert it into integer type. So integer of ch. So now we will use the ch functions. If my current character is next line, okay, that time I can skip it. So I'll print that it is a new line, so we can simply skip it. After that go to next line and we'll skip it by using this continue. If I give continue here, it will skip one iteration there. So let us check the next one. If it is not next line, we will be using the inbuilt method, that is we are going to check if it is space. So if it is space, we have given spaces here, so we can simply add spaces plus plus. So I want to print it. So print it is a space. So for that I'll give one square bracket, within that I'll give space. After printing it, I want to go to the next line. So if it is not space, I'll check if it is a digit. Is digit. So this is digit will check if it is a digit or not. So that time I'll increase digit by 1 and I'll print a, that is it is a digit. After that next line. So if it is not digit, I want to check if it is a alphabet letter or not. So for that there is a inbuilt method, that is alpha of the character. So if it is character, so that time first it can be capital character or small character. So if it is a character, I want to check if it is a vowel or consonant. So for that I want to use one, first I will convert it. So lower, first I want to convert it to lower character, because I don't need to check both uppercase and lowercase, I need to check if it is a vowel or not. So I will convert it and store it in one more variable, and after that I will check if my current character, that is lower, is A or it is E or I or O or U. These characters are vowels. Even if I give capital, it will convert to small. If it is small, then it will be still in the small character. So after that I will print It is a vowel. So vowel. And next line. So after that, I'll increase the vowels by 1. So if it is not vowel, I have to check it is a consonant or not. So else, if it is not vowel, it will be consonant. So print of consonant. After that, backward slash n. So now I want to increase consonants by 1. So if it is not digit, if it is not space and not digit and not next line, and if it is not even an alphabet character, so it must be the special character. So for that, this is the else if case, and after that else case. Else will be printing special character. So after that, backward slash n for the next line, and I'll increase special characters by 1. So after that, I'll print one summary of it, that is how many characters are there. So for that, I'll print f, within it I'll give some sum of double equals to give it like this, and summary, and go to the next line. So some more spaces here. So after the summary, I want to print how many vowels and how many consonants, like those. So vowels, these many vowels are there. After that, how much consonants and how much digits and how much spaces, and finally how much special characters are there. So after that, we will print how many total characters are there. Total characters. So I'll give some spaces here. So let me give one more spaces for everything. So now it will all look the same count. So now we can give the values, that is percentage %d and next line. So after that, we have to add it. So as we can know, this I will be starts from 0 and end at the next one. So I can simply give I here to found the how many characters are there, and I'll return it. So we are iterating through every index and checking every character and the ASCII value. After that, we are printing it. So now let us check. Hello, I am Magnus Carlson. I want Fiddle Cup 2025. So I will give this sentence. So let us see here. So we have given it the printing statement within this for loop. So that's why it is printing multiple times. So I'll cut this. After that, I'll give it here. So this is the for loop. After ending of the for loop, I will printing the summary. I am giving the same sentence. Twenty 25. So now as we can see, it is printing every character first from every index. So here it is printing the ASCII value, and after that it is printing it is vowel or consonant or space or special characters, and after that total vowels, total consonants, how many digits, and spaces and special characters, and this 34. It is reading. Let me see here. So it have written until I am the. So after that it didn't read it. So because we have only given the size of 150, but it may be greater than that. So let us give some more size of 300 or 500. So let us copy this and paste it. So we are getting the values of it. So first let us see the program by one line. We are checking that first if it is next line, we are continuing to the next one. So after that, if it is next line, we will skip the current one. So after that, we are checking for the space. So if is space, it will print space and space will be incremented. So after that, if it is digit, digit will be counted and it will be printed. So after that, if it is alphabet character, so and it will check if it is vowel, and if it is vowel it will be printed, and if it is consonant, the consonant will be printed. If all of them are false, so that time, so if it is false, that time it will move on to the next one, that is special character. If it is all of them are false, it will print, it will count it as a special character and special character will be printed. So let us see the next problem. So in this problem we have seen about most of the inbuilt methods, that is alphabet, is digit, and is space, and after that we have seen is alphabet, and for checking vowels we have to check it with the ASCII values. Here as you can see, these are the ASCII values. It will be represented as numbers, and if you use type conversion, you can convert it to character and character into the numbers. So let us see the inbuilt functions that is given for the string.h. We have seen about the character one, so now we will see for the string. So for that we have to include two header files. One is mandatory for getting inputs and outputs, that is standard input output.h. After that string file, so hash include, string dot h, after that int main return 0. So this is the basic structure of C. In this there are lot of functions are there, inbuilt functions are there. So let me write here one by one. First one is, as we already know, string length. So within it you will give the string, so it will return the size of it, or example we can change it to length of the string. The next one is string copy. So in this string copy you will give two values, one is destination, another one is source. It will copy the source and it will be point to the destination. Okay, it will copy it and paste it, copy paste from source to the destination. So let us see the next one. So the next one is str ncpy. So in this you will give three inputs, destination, source and n. So this n is nothing but the maximum element you can copy. That means it can be name it to limited copy paste. So next one is string concatenation, that is str cat. So in this destination and the source, you will add that means you will append the source to the end of the destination. You will give some string here, it will be added at the end of this destination. So all of them are pointing to the destination. So add at the end of one string. So another one is string ncat. So same like the string ncopy. So destination, source and n. N is nothing but the range. So we can say it as limit to add at n. So after that string compare, strcmp. So this will check two strings, string 1 and string 2. If both are equal, that time, for example, it will check two strings and return the boolean value, true or false. So it will compare lexicographically, that means on order. So after that string n compare, so string 1 and string 2, after that the n. So it will compare first n characters. It will only compare the range that we have given. So after that string char thr. So in the string char, it will first find the occurrence of the character present in the string. So within this you will be giving two inputs, that is the string and the character. So in this character, this value, if this value is present in the string, it will return the index of it. That means it will only return the first index, first occurrence of the value. So after that first occurrence. So next one is string or chr. Within this, we will be giving string, after that chr. So it will return the last occurrence. As you can see there are two R here. This is string character and this is string R character. This R is nothing but reverse. It will check from reverse, so that time it will return the last occurrence of this value. So let us see the next one. So the next one is str. So this is nothing but substring. For example, if I give within this, I'll give some values. So we'll split it. So within this substring, we'll be giving two values, that is the string and the substring. So it will return the first occurrence of the substring present in it. First occurrence of substring. A substring is nothing but a string that can be found within another string. So let us see one more thing, that is string upr or string lwr. So as you can guess before, it is nothing but we are converting the string to uppercase and converting the string to lowercase. So the syntax is not standard. So upper to lower and lower to upper. So these are the methods that we are going to see right now. So let us go on to the program. We have included two header files and the main program. So the first one is string length. So as we can already see before, once again we will see. So I will declare character and word. So I will give programming. So I have created a string. After that, I'll give int length. I'll store string length of this word. So this will store the length of this word and I will print it. So first, let us print of. First, I want to print the word. So the string is %s and /n for the next line, and I'll give the word, that is the string. So after that, the length, so I'll print length, that is this length. After that, we'll print the size of percentage lu. After that, next line. Then we'll print size of the current word. So for this, as you can see, for the size of, we are using unsigned long because it varies, depends upon this system. So that's why we have using unsigned long. So now let us create one more empty string. So character, shall name it as empty. Within it, I'll give one empty string. So first, now let us run this program and check it. So run it. So see here, the string is programming and the length is 11 and the size is 12. It will include the value, that is /and 0, that is the end of the string. So let us move on to the next functions. So now let us try to print this empty string. So print, so I am giving some empty string length. So this empty string length is nothing but the string length of this empty. If you print and check, so it says the string length is null because we didn't give any value there. That backward slash 0 is nothing but the null value, so it will point to it and it will print the value as null. So let us move on to the next one, that is string copy. So the second one is string copy. So now I'll create one more string. So I'll name it string strcpy string copy. So in this string copy, first I'll create one more string. I'll name it as source. So the source is, I'll give the size of 20. So I'll give the value as hello. Hello is enough. So this is the source. I'll create one more string with the same size, destination. So now I want to copy it and paste it. Now I have initialized it but didn't give any value. So now it is uninitialized. So it will be initialized with the garbage value. Okay. So now we will copy it and paste it in the location. So string copy. This is the destination and this is the source. So after copying it, we will print it. So print after copying. So next line. So printf. So now I'll give source, after source, destination. So let me give some space. So this is the source and this is the destination. So let us print it. So both of them are same. See, initially we didn't give any value to the destination. So let us try to print this one. I'll remove this line. So I'll change this to before copying and after copying. So let us check. So before copying, see here, this destination have some random garbage value. So after that, it will change. After copying, this source value will be copied into this destination. So let us run one more time. It will, every time if you run it, as you can see, this value will change. See here, this value is again changing. So let us run one more time and see. So this value will be changed. How many times if you run, the value will be changing. So now we will move on to the next one. So for that, string copy. Now destination, after that the source. So this is what we have given before. So now I'll change the source value into world. So now I'll print after second copying. So now after second copy, the value of the string, that is percentage %s. So the value of s is destination. So here we have to give next line. So see here, this is hello. After the second copying, this value is changed to world. So now we'll see the safer copy, that means the size ncpy str ncpy. So I'll create one more string, char source2, my source2, I'll create Chennai. After that, the destination, so I'll give the size of 20, and for the destination I'll give 10. See here, in the previous one both sizes are same, now the both sizes are different. So now let us copy str ncpy. Within this, first destination 2, source 2. The maximum size it can store is 10, but I want to copy only 5 characters. So this will be the count. So now destination 2 of 5 is this value. So this is important while you are using strncpy, because it may not add the ending of this program. So now let us try to print. So within it I'll use /n. So after strncpy, so string copy of 5 characters. So next we have to print the string on the next line. So after that, the destination 2. So now let us run it. After string copy, the 5 characters are there. Okay. So we have getting the size of it. So if I didn't use this line, let us check, it may throw errors or not. Sometimes based upon the compiler it will throw a wrong output, but it is currently doing it, so there is no need to do that. But for the safer case, you have to do this, so that time you won't get any errors while using this strncpy. So now let us copy it from the full characters. So for that I'll use strncpy destination 2 and source 2. In this I am going to use size of destination 2. I am using -1 field. So I am copying as many characters that can be possibly stored within this destination 2. This -1 is for this space. To terminate the string, I am reducing the size by 1. So after that, make sure to give the last value destination size of 2. The last value is this null. So after that, print after copying the 10 characters. So now I'll give some space and I'll give some string here. So it is copying 1, 2, 3 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters. The 10th character is nothing but this null character. So we are copying 9 characters. So this is the basic strings operations for copying, and so now I want to concatenate. So strcat, and this is the destination and this is the source. So now I'll print it. So printf. So here we are doing string concatenation. So I'll string concatenation result is the string and next line. So here I'll give the ratings because that is the destination we have added. So now let us check. So it is running. So it is hello world, but there is no spaces. So I'll give one more starting space here and run it. So it is running. So we got the output hello world with some space in between it. So we have successfully concatenated using this inbuilt function. So let us see another more functions. The next one is strncat. So I'll create one more string. So I'm naming it as sentence. So I'll give size as 50, or else I'll change this to 60. Within this, I'll give some string I, and I will give them some space. So now I want to add concatenation, that is strncat. Here I'll give C programming language. So now I want to give the values is 14. So it is strncat. So before that we have to give us destination. So that is sentence. So this is the destination and this is the source and this is the count, that value I have to add. So now let us print. Here string cat result is this sentence because this is the destination file. So let us run it and see what's the output that is coming. So the normal concatenation is hello world, and see here this is only printing up to this programming. It is not printing the language because it will only reading 14 characters. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The 14th character is up till C programming. It is only adding until it reaches the C programming. After that it will leave that. It will not add this language here. So this is the difference between string concatenation and string n concatenation. N is nothing but the number of string that we have to add. So let us see string comparison. For that I'll create some of string values. So char, the string 1 is, I'll give apple here. So next one, string 2, I'll give another apple here. So character, string 3, I'll give banana here. After that I'll give one more string, string 4, I'll give this into capitals. So now we have 4 strings. Now let us check 4 of them using the string comparison. So let us check. So I'll declare 4 variables. For checking, it will return boolean value. I'll store it in integer because 0 and 1. So string compare s1 and s2, and int, I'll name it as result 1. So I'll calculate 4 results here. Result 2 is, I'll check s1 apple and banana. So s1 and s3. So after that, int result 3, we'll check string comparison. In this, I want to check it in a reverse manner, that is s3 and s1. So after that, we'll check first one and last one. The first one, last one is s4 and s1, or s1 and s2. So we are comparing two strings, apple and apple here, and when you come here, it is apple and banana and apple versus capital Apple. This is case sensitive. So let us print all of them to get what we are getting the output as. So printf, so in this next line, so string comparison. So in this string comparison of apple, so in this we got the value true or false. So after that, next line. So this is not supposed to be here, and this. So now we'll return the result of that, result 1. So printf. So after that, string comparison of here here it is apple versus banana. So after that, it is and apple here. So printf. So the string comparison of here both are apple, but one is lowercase, another one is uppercase. So these are another one is uppercase. So these are the 4 things we are comparing here, and these are the outputs. So let us check. So it is running. So see here, the first one returns 0 and another one returns -1. So the next one returns 1. After that, the another one returns 1 again. So this is the output we are getting from comparing two of the things. So this is nothing but checking it, but here it is 0 and this is -1. So these values, all of them are changing according to the positions that they are given to it. So if you compare it, it will return the boolean's value. So if both are same, so instead of it, if you use double equals here, instead of comparison, it will compare the address. But if you use strcmp, that means it will return true or false. So for example, let me write one more code here, that is if we are comparing it, so I can say s1 and s2, if both return 0, that time it is equal. S1 and S2 are equal. And next one, if it is written 0, see here, in the same string only we got 0, other than we have different values. So if you get same 0 as the output, so that means the both of them are equal. Instead of that, let me print one more thing there. If S1 equals S2, this time it will, instead of checking the value, it will check the address, it will not check the content. So the correct way is we have to use strcmp to check if both strings are equal. So let us move on to the next one, that is string chr. So let me remove this. After that, character. So we are going to see string chr. I hope it will be the next. So after comparison, it is string chr. We have to find the occurrence of it. So I'll create one more string. For example, let me take email here. So in this email, I would give a random name Tom at example.com. So this is one mail. So I'll create one more mail. So we can check here, that is I'm using a pointer at sign. In this strchr. So in this I'll compare email destination and I'll check if at is present or not. So this is the destination and this is the value we are checking. So after that I'll check if at sign is not equals to null. So I can print at sign is found there. So for that, printf, before that I'll use next line because there may be some leftover there. So at is found at position of so I'll give LD here percentage. After that, next line. Now we have to give the value. So that is the assign value will be subtracted from the email. So if you do this, we will get the current index of that value. So it will print the value. So now I'll printf. So for example, I'll give domain port. Like this, I'll print the domain. So in this string, and I'll go to the next line. Here, assign +1. If it is not found, so I can print. If it is found value, it will have some value. If it is not, it will store null. So that's why we are checking if it is not null. Else we can print. Within it, I'll give some single quotes at is not found. Or else we can say invalid mail. and next line. So let us check here. So it is running. So it says it is returning the index that it is found at the third position 0, 1, 2, 3. So the third means nothing but it is the index. So it is returning example.com, because this at sign plus 1 is nothing but it will point to this index. Okay. So when it reaches here, this plus 1 means this value, this E. So it will print the string after this pointer. So this pointer is currently at the value of at here, and this string plus 1 means it will move on to this E, and it will be started from here to here. So this pointer will be started here and it will print at to this.com. So that's why I have started this sign plus 1 to give. If I didn't give sign plus 1, it will still print at example.com. So it is running. So see here, it says at example.com here. So if I give plus 1 here, it will move on, the pointer will move on by 1 and it will just print the value of example.com. So now let us see that the strchr, that is we are going to check from the reverse. So for that I would like to search from the last value. So for the last we have currently checked this one. So now let us check this dot. So for that I will create one pointer and name it as dot. So here str, I'll check from reverse, strchr, and the destination is email and the value is dot. So now printf. So I'll name it as extension. So here the string percentage yes and the next line. So this extension is nothing but the .com or .in, like the .org, that is called as extension. So I'll print dot. So the pointer will be pointing to the current value. So we want to move on to the next one, that is dot plus 1. So here if I give one more dot with rev like that. So now let us run. So it's running. It is giving the value of rev, because it is checking from the last and it will stop here itself. But instead of that, if I remove str double r here, it will start from the first and it will print .com.rev. Let us check here. So it's printing com.rev. So that's why we are checking it from the reverse. And I will remove this .rev. So let us run it. After that, it will check the extension part and it will print it. So it is printing the extension part now. So let us see the some more inbuilt methods. So now let us move on to substring counter. So for that, I'll name it as substring counter, that is str method. So here I'll give some explanation. Find substring. So I'll give a sentence. I'll give sentence 1. So here I'll remove this. Within it, I'll give C programming is fun and C is powerful. C programming is fun and it is powerful. I'm giving this sentence. So I'll create one more pointer to find it, that is found. Within it, I'll give the sentence that is str, and after that sentence 1. So remove this email. So I want to check the substring, that is C is. That is what I want to check. So for that, I'll give a substring C is. So this substring C space is. So this is the substring I want to found. So if found is not equals to null, it should be founded. So I should print C is found at the index of the found minus sentence 1. So this will return the index of this value. So after that, I will printf from that point there will be some string. So from that point the string is %s, and next line, so from the current pointing value, so it will print C is powerful. So let us run it. So we got the output. C is found at the index of 25 and it is printing after that. From that point it is C is powerful. So this is, we are checking that finding a substring. So now let us count the occurrences of the substring. So how many times the substring is present within the value. So for that, counting the occurrence of a substring. So this is the program we are going to write. So for that we have to count it. So I am declaring one counter with the value of 0. So the character will create a pointer for that, and it is sentence 1. So I am pointing with the initial value from 0. So while I'll create a while loop. So within the while loop I give a condition that my pointer is the same as, so we are finding a substring, so str of so pointer and the value, that is C. So this is the string and this is the substring. So both are equal to that is not equals null. So if this value is not null, it is checking the value and giving the index value. If it is not null, so that time, so here I have to give for the while loop we have to give this. So if my pointer is equals to the substring of pointer with the C, so and it is not equals to 0, I will increase the count. So first I created a pointer and I given the string here, and I am giving the condition of, let me remove this and write it once again. So I give while, so within that, first my pointer value, that is equals to string of string, that is substring of the pointer, the value, and it will be storing in this current pointer. So the pointer value is not null, so it is not equals to the value of null. That time it will found it. So I will increase the count by 1. So if it is counting or not, I have to increase the pointer 1 by 1 to move to the end of the string. So now we'll print how many times the substring is present there. So I'll print number of C occurrences. So the number of C occurrences, the counting time, that is percentage %d, and I'll give next line. After that I'll give the count. So these many times this is presented. The number of times C occurrences. So let us check here. There are 2 times there, so it should return the value of 2. So it is printing the number of C occurrences are 2 times. So we have seen up to this one. So let us move on to the next one, that is uppercase and lowercase. So that is case conversion, and we are going to build our own string functions. For that I'll remove all of this code and I'll start it. So for that, first header file that we needed is standard input output.h. So for the string operations, hash include string.h. So the next one is the character type operations or character function. Hash include ctype.h. So in my main and return 0. So this is the basic structure of C. So now let us write some more functions for converting from to uppercase. So for writing it, we have character conversion from to lower to uppercase. So using that character we have to change this to value. So I don't want to return anything. So just going to convert to uppercase. So to uppercase, within that the character value and the pointer of string. So it will point to the current value of string. So we can change the value within it. So I'll declare one iterator for the first index to last index. So for the I value starts from 0, and when it not reaches to the last value, that is backward slash 0, so it is string of I, so str of, so and I plus plus. Up from the starting to ending, I am iterating through this loop. So after that, a string of I will be, I am using to upper method, that is within this ctype.h file. So to upper of string of I. So I am converting this lowercase to uppercase. So now we will convert the entire string to lowercase. Same method, void lowercase. So we are going to give the string star string. So initialization of the iterator, and we are going to start from the first syntax, that is 0. I value is 0. So it is not reaches the last value. And it is increasing one by one. So this is a for loop. So after that, I am converting the current value to lower case of the current character value, that is string of I. So if you call this method within give the string, so that time this string will be converted into smaller case. So now we will write one more thing, that is title case. Title case is nothing but we are capitalizing the first letter of each and every word. I will create one more method, void to title case. So within that we are going to give a string, that is character array, pointer of it. So now I'll initialize the value with 0, that is starting of the value. So I'll use one flag. Flag is nothing but a boolean value that is useful to check if it is true or false. So I'm using for checking if it is the starting of the word. So I'm naming it as new word. So I initialize with 1 because we are going to first start it with the first value. So after that I'll iterate through this string. So I value is 0 and my current value is string of I is not equal to the terminator value, and I will increase by 1 iteration through every value. My current string is space. So that time I can say it is being splitted and it will moving to the next one. So I'll change the value is 1, the new word to 1. That is, I'm saying it is true that the new word have come. So if not, else if my new word is true and it is new word, and if it is an alphabet, so it's alpha of the current character, that is string of I. So it is alpha ALPHA. So if it is an alphabet character, so that time I have to convert it. So for that I'll convert it to uppercase, and after converting it I have to change the word of it to 0. For it is, I have converted the first word to uppercase, so there is no need to change the next one. So I'll change this to 0. So other than that, I have to change all of them to the lowercase. So that's why it will look like a word that can be converted from all the first characters only will be in the uppercase, other than it should be in lowercase. So I'll convert to lowercase, to lower of the current character. So this is how we are changing. It is for uppercase and lowercase, and we have created our own function for converting title case. If any word that is being splitted by space, I am naming it as new word for checking a flag. After that, using it, I am checking if it is character and it is a new word, I will change to uppercase, or else I will change this word to lowercase. So we will create one more thing that is named as tall case. If it is uppercase, we will change to lower. If it is lowercase, we will change this to upper. So for that, void toggle case will give the string within it. So I'll initialize with the value of I. So I'm going through the for loop, starts from 0, and my current character is not equal to the last character. So that time I can go by one to the next characters in the string. So after that, if my current character is lower, so for checking it, there is a method that is upper case. You will be converted to the lower case. If it is not in the upper case, else if that is if it is in the lower case, so that time you will convert the value to the upper case. So if you do this, that time digits will be same and special characters will be the same. There is no need to check for that. So within this we will create some strings, for example character text value with the size of 100. So I'll to check all of the method. So I'll create copy 1. So character copy 1 the same size 100, and copy 2 is 100, and copy 3, after that copy 4. I am creating 4 copy of it, and I want to get the input from the user. So enter the text, or we'll change this to enter a string. Enter a string. So after getting the string, we'll be using flets. The size is 100. So after getting the text, before that I'll change this to size of because it will be more helpful, size of text. So this is the size that it can store. So after getting the input, I am using one more thing, that is string. There is a one-liner method. So this string is storing the last value at the size of 0. So let us move on to the next one. So first we will copy all of the text. So str copy 1. This is the destination and the source. And I'll copy all of the strings. Copy 2, copy 3, and str copy 4. So we can use all of them too, because it will be always stored here. So even if it is, we can just need text, so that way it will look better. So text, again I'll change this to text. So I'll copy all of this value into this. So now first, for the first one, I'll change this to uppercase. 2 uppercase of the first copy, and 2 lowercase of the second copy. After that, 2 title case of the third copy, and toggle case for the fourth copy. So what we have given, we simply give toggle case. So toggle case of the copy 4. So we have given called 4 functions. So now let us print all 4 functions. So printf. So first we'll print the original string. So the original string. First we'll print the original string. The original string %s and the next line. The original string is text. After that printf So the next one is uppercase. Uppercase string. So here percentage s /n, that is copy 1. The lowercase string is copy 2. So after that title case string is copy 3 and the toggle case string is this copy 4. So now let us give some inputs here by running this code. Let us see how it is working. So hello, I'll give world as the capital value and hello as the small value. After that I'll give small from, after that capital C. So now let us hit enter. See here, this is the original string and it is completely converted into uppercase. After that completely converted into lowercase, and title case, the all of the first letters will be converted into capital letter, and this is toggle case. Smaller will be capital, capital will be small. Like that it will change. See here, hello is small, hello is capital here, world is capital and world is small here, from is small but here capital, and C is capital but here is small. So we have converted 4 case, that is uppercase, everything is in the uppercase, and lowercase for everything in lowercase, title case for every first letter of each word will be capital, and toggle case, the toggle case is used for converting uppercase to lowercase and lowercase to uppercase. So let us see the methods here that we have used for the toggle case. So let us see here. So if it is upper, I am converting to lower, lower to upper, and for the uppercase I am converting everything to the uppercase, and in lowercase I am converting every character to the lowercase. So here title case I am using one thing that is called as flag. This flag is used to count it as a new word. If any space is read, for example, after this hello there is a space, it read and change this value, it will change this new word into 1 and it will convert the next character, that is W, to the capital word, and it will get back to 0. When it again reaches space, after that it will become 1. After it becoming 1, it will convert this F to capital, or else it will be still in the small. Other than the every first character, I will convert everything to the small character. That's why it will become, as you can see, this word is in the capital letter, but all of them is converted into small other than the starting of the each word. So let us create one more functions. For that we can also create our own functions for string copy and string concatenation and string length as well. So we'll see onto the programs. First we'll see reversing a string. So let us remove this hash include standard io.h. So this is for getting input and output, and I'm importing string, there is hash include. So before that we have to give hash include string.h. So now I would like to create methods to solve this. So that time we don't need to write and remove the code. So first int main and return 0. So first we will write code for reversing a string. So for reversing a string, we don't need to give any output. So I am giving void here. So reverse string. It is a string name. Within it, we'll give the string and the pointer. That is percentage %s. This pointer is used to iterate through it. So I am giving it as str for my purpose. If you want, you can give anything. So how we are going to reverse this? So let us remove this. For a string, for example, I'll give hello. This is the string. In the internal structure, it will be like this. H E L L O. So this is the structure. As we can already see in this, we are reversing the array by swapping the first element and the last element. Same like this is also a character array. We just need to swap these two first. In the first one, see here, this H will be swapped with O and this O will be swapped with the H. After that, in the next iteration, this E will be swapped with this L and L will be swapped with this E. So now we are reversed this string. So in the same way we are going to reverse it. For that we are going to use two pointers, one for left one for right one. So see here, for that we are going to import it. So int left value is 0 and after that int right value is the current length of string minus 1, because we are going to, the index value will be length minus 1. So that's why I have given minus 1 here and it will start from the index of 0. So that is string length minus 1. So we'll use while loop, that we have to run the loop. Finally this will be here, this pointer will be here. There are two pointers. When it reaches middle, we don't need to change it. If there are 6 values, that time it will change. After that it will be less than the right value, I can do that. So while my left value is less than right value, I want to change it. So we are using a temporary character variable to store it. So string of left value. So after that string value is stored. So string value can be changed. Left value can be changed. String left will be stored. String of right. So string right also stored. So we can change string of right with the stored of left value is temporary. So we are swapping it. So after swapping every time, we have to increase left by 1 from 0 to 1, and this is n minus 1 to n minus 2. That means increase left one, reduce the right one. So left plus plus, right minus minus. So we are moving it and reversing a string. So let us create one string, call this methods. So string, so for that I will create one word, the size of 100, or else we can simply use 50 here. So I'll create one more string. So I'm naming it as reverse. So with this I'll give the size of 50 here. So now first I will get the input from the user. Enter a word. So I am getting a single word to reverse it. So I am not using fgetS. So after that we will print the original string. Printf. First we will print the original string. Original string, that is percentage s and the string. So that is word. So within here I will give next line to go to the next line for the compiler. So after that I have printed the original string. So now let us print the reversed. So for the reversed one, we have to call it, we have to call the function, that is reverse. So reversing a string. After that will print reverse string and run it. So I will give the word. So here I'll give a word, for example, hello. So the original string is hello and it is being reversed, and give the value of this. So now we'll see one more method to reverse a string, but this time this string can be changed. But now we are going to create a string that is non-destructive, that means it cannot change the value. Okay, for that I'll create one more method, void reverse into new string. So for that we are going to use constant here and character of string, or else I'll name the source and character of destination. So within it we are going to create it. First I'll get the length from the user. So length is string length of the source. After that I'll use one iterator, for loop, I is 0 and I less than the length and I plus plus. It is less than here. After here, my current destination of I, the destination of I value is source of length minus 1 minus I. That means I am reversing the string from values and changing it to the first value. So that time I am copying a string from last digit and storing it in the first digit. So finally, the last value should be the null. So I am giving it as /0 here. So if we call it, we'll get this the same output as here. So let us see checking the palindromes. So the palindrome is nothing but if a string, for example, let me take this hello. If I reverse it, I'll get this value. But instead of this, let me take race car. So if I reverse it, see here, this R, after that this A, this C and E and C, A, R. So if I reverse it, still I will get the same word. So if I get the same word after being reversed, that is called as a palindrome. So for that we can reverse a word and store it in another string and check that if both are equal. If both of them are equal, we can say it is a palindrome. So for that I will create one more function. So for that I will return the boolean value. So boolean, instead of boolean I will give 0 or 1. So I am using integer. So int, if it is palindrome or not. So is palindrome. So I will give the string to the user. So I don't want to change anything within the string. So I am naming it as constant and character, and I'll name it as string. So within it, we have to reverse it. For that, left value is 0 and the right value is string dot length minus 1. So we'll reverse it while left is less than 0, while left is less than right. It if so, we can do one more thing, that for example, as you can see, this last two values are same and these two values are same and these two values are same. I can use two pointers here and here. Instead of swapping, I can check if both of them are equal. If both of them are equal, this is anything changes, it is not a palindrome. So I'll check if it is changing or not. So if my current character string of left is not equals to string of right. If they are mismatching, so that time it is false, it is not a palindrome. So I'll return 0. After the completion of loop, if it is still returns, it is completed, it is true, so it means it is a palindrome. So before that we have to increment the left pointer and the right pointer. So we are checking and returning 0 for mismatch, and if all of them are completed, the loop will be terminated. That times it is a palindrome. So let us come here and we will do one more thing, that is if it is palindrome. What we are going to check? We are going to check the word. If my word is palindrome, that time I'll print. So I can simply give that percentage yes is a palindrome. After that I'll give next line. So then the palindrome word. So if it is not, it is not a palindrome. So let us run it and check. So I am giving the word of test. So if you reverse it, you will get TSET and it is not a palindrome. Race car. So race car is a palindrome because even if you reverse it, you will get the same value again and again. There is no need for this next line because we have next line here. So let us check here with another one, that is madam. So madam is a palindrome because even if you reverse it, it will still be the same. So next we are going to count the words. So for that I'll remove this code and move on to the next problem. So hash include, so standard input output dot h. So after that I'll be using string functions. So for that hash include string dot h. After that I'll do character methods as well. So hash include type dot h. So next my main function 0. So this is the main method. So after that we'll create one method to count a word in a sentence. How many words are present in a sentence? That means using these spaces we can check it. So for that I'll return the count, so integer. So count words in a string. So character, so the string. After that we have to return some value within it because it is integer data type. So now first one counter for counting the words. So after that I'll use int, that is I'll use one flag if it is in the word or not. Initially I'll make it as false. After that a iterator to iterate through this loop. So for int I is 0. So I have already initialized it, and so there is no need for an again initialization. So I, so we have to use string of I, the last character is not equals to the value and I plus plus. So if it is not a space, is space, if it is, it will check is space, and I am using not operator. If it is not space, so that is count as the word here. So that time it is not splitted. So I am saying it is word is 0. Because it is in the word. So after that I'll increase the count. So after that, if it is space, we'll see. If it is space, if the current character is space, that time it is not word. So the word is being ended. So if how many spaces are there, I'll print it as a word. Count it as how many words are there, and after that, after the for loop, we have to return the count. So count. So let us move on to the main function and call it. So for that I'll create one string. So character, so I'll name it as sentence, and I'll give the size of 100, or else I'll give 200 here for larger string. So after that character, so I want to copy it, so I am naming it as sentence copy, is the same size of 200. So now I'll give enter a sentence. After entering the sentence, I'll get fgets from the user with the size of 200. So I don't want to use 200 here. Instead of that, I'll use size of the sentence. So now after this, I'll give sentence last character as. So next, I want to copy the sentence and store it in this destination sentence copy. So strcpy is nothing but sentence copy, and I'm storing it in the sentence. So after storing this, I want to print the word count. I have already created a word count. So word count of the string is %d, and after that sentence, and that we have to call the method that is count words. Count words in the sentence. So before that, I'll go to the next line for any printing statement. So let us run it. So let us give some sentence here. Hello, hi there. So the word count of hello, hi there is 12 here, because it is counting the sentence which is present in here. There are characters there. So let us see here. So in this method, first we have initialized the value of count as 0 and inferred is 0. So now iterate through the first to last element, and if it is not space, and we have forgot to give one more condition here output, and it is not in word. So if it is in word, we don't have to count it. So that time it will completely ignore it. So now just run it. So now it is working perfectly. So here, hello, hi there. There are 3 counts there. So now let us run it. Hello, hi there. So even if I give 2 spaces here, it still gives the value of 3. Because of this condition, if you didn't give this condition correctly, it will still throw error output or a miss output we have previously get. So now let us count the frequency of each letter from A to Z. So there are, we will count from lowercase letters, that is A to Z. So now I will create one more method. So after this method I want to create one more method to count the character frequency. Void for character frequency. I don't want to return anything. So within it I'll give one string. So I don't want to change the string, so I'm giving it as constant of character string. So in this string I want to count the frequency. Frequency is nothing but if there is a string, for example A, B, B, A, B, A. So the frequency of A is 4 times because it is present 4 times in this string. So frequency is nothing but a character is present in how many times within the string. So there are 26 characters. So I am naming it as frequency, an array, 26 characters. So I am naming it as 26. I initialize with 0 or else it will be initialized with some garbage values. So for the index of 0 in it is nothing but A. The 0th index is A and 1 index is B. Like that it will goes on, and after that 25 is nothing but Z. So this is how it is going to store. So we got created this. After that, if it is alphabet, so within it, before that we have to use a for loop to iterate through every characters. So for, I'm using a for loop. So within it, if my current character is alphabet, so if is alpha of my current character, that means if it is a character, I'll add it to the frequency of, I'll convert it to lowercase because it will become case sensitive. So I'll convert this to lowercase and string of I, and I'll increase the current value by 1. So before that we have to do one more thing. For the ASCII values, if you subtract the current lower value with smaller a, so for example the ASCII value of a is 97, and if you subtract a minus a, you will get 0, that is the index of the value. So if 0 plus plus means this index value will be incremented by 1. So that's why we are subtracting this value with minus a. So if the value is b, so b minus a, 98 minus 97 will become 0. So the index value will become the frequency, for example string of 1 is nothing but b. So b value is incremented by 1. So 1b is incremented. So that's why we are subtracting this value with minus a. After that we are incrementing. So after that I want to print all of them which is stored here. So for that, printf, so all the character frequencies. So I am using next line and character frequencies is to the next line. So after printing it, I'll iterate through the loop, that is for, so in, so I is 0, after that I less than 26 because there is only 26 characters here, and I plus plus. So after that, if frequency of I is greater than 0, that means 0 means there is no value there. So if it is any value is present in it, I will print the value. So first I will print the character So for that I'll use percentage C here. So percentage D is presented the number of times or times. So within this string, so after that next line. So here the percentage C means first we have to give the value of the I. So the value is 0, 0 means A. So I plus the character A. So 0 plus 20, that means 0 plus 97 will become 97. So after that we have to print the count, that is frequency of I. So I is the value of A and frequency of I is the count that is within it. So let us call this. So we have to call character frequency of the string. So character frequency. So we have used sentence here. So sentence. So let us run it. And I want to give the sentence of hello, hi, how are you? See here, A is one time presented here, that is here, and after that E is two times, 1 and 2. So after that H is 3 times, 1, 2, 3. So after that I is 1 time and L is 2 times, I is 1 time and L is 2 times, and O is 3 times, 1, 2, 3. After L we have R, U, W and Y. One R, one U, one W and Y. So this is the string. In this string these many characters are presented these many times. So this is how we will be counting the frequency of every characters in a string. So let us see some more problems. So in basically we have found that for counting this frequency of a character will be array with the size of 0 to 26, and within it we are using to lower to convert. Even if it is a capital case, it will not do anything, so it will convert to maximum to, that means upper to lower and lower to uppercase. So that's why we are given here. So let us see some more problems. So we'll see string formatting here. There is, so first arrays of strings, storing multiple strings in some array. So let us see that. Before that we'll see string and pointers. So for that hash include, so standard input output dot h. After that hash include, so for string we have to import string dot h. And for characters hash include. So we don't need characters here, we'll just use string, so we don't need this. So int main, after that return 0. So we have seen basically normal problems there. So now let us move on to some more problems along with the pointers. So string length using the pointers, instead of that we will be using array index. Maximally we will be using array index, but here we are going to use pointer. So as we already know, the pointer will be always starts to the first value. So for that I'll create one text character. So I'll give text. So let us give some example of Chennai here. So I have created. So after that I'll create one pointer to it, that is character. pointer to the text. So currently this pointer is pointing to this value of C here, that is the first index. So then we'll see printf using array. After that, next line here. So now I value is 0. So for loop I is 0. After that, my text I current value is not equals to the null, and I will increase by 1. So after that, I'll printf text of this index value is this, and I'm index and the character value. So instead of using the array value, I am using the pointer here. So now let us check. See here, text of 0 is C and 1 is I, H. After that 2 is E, 3 is N, like that. But we didn't use index value. Instead of that, we are just using pointer values. As you can see here, we have used pointer here. This is array indexing. Now we will see the pointer indexing. We have used pointers here. We didn't use pointers here. Now we will going to see how to use pointers. So printf pointers arithmetic. So next line. So now see pointers. So for pointers, we can simply say use while loop, because we don't know the length for the while loop. So within that, we can just give my current pointer is not reaching this last value. So this is the condition, and I am using pointers here instead of array index values. So within it, I'll give printf within this printing statement. I will give some value, for example, the pointer to the index of pointer value to this character. After this, I'll give the address. So address stored in a address value that can be printed using %p and the next line. So after it, first we have to print. This is nothing but dereferencing. So after that, we have to use conversion of void and star. After that, pointer. So while doing this, we will get the address of it. So now, after every iteration, we have to increase the pointer by 1 to move on to the next one. So we are printing the address of every characters. After that, we are increasing the pointer by 1. So now let us check. So this is the basic printing of the string using the array index. Now it is pointers. So see here, these are the address that is being the values being stored. So within this C, I have to give %. So the character would be print. So let us see here. These are the value that's being stored within this address. So this is how we will be printing using the pointing value without using the array of indexing. So let us see pointers to the specific positions. So let me go to the next line. After that, I'll create one character, that is string characters array. So I'll name it as sentence. So in this array, in this character array, I'll give the value of hello world from C. So within it, we have created a string. So next, I want to hold a value of the pointer value to it. So I want to point this value to this world. So I'm naming it as world or else world pointer. So world ptr is the sentence value. So the current syntax value is 0. So 0, 1, 2, 5 and 6. So that means if I add plus 6, it will iterate through this w values. Currently this pointer is pointing to w and it will skip the first 6 characters, that is hello. So now let us print it. So sentence. So I am printing using this pointer value. So now if I print it, so it is only printing world from C, it is skipped the hello. That means the pointer is pointing to this world only. So let us do one more thing, that is character. So I'm using one more pointer. So I'm using this pointer for this C. So I'm naming it as C pointer is my current point, that is sentence plus, and it is in the 17th index. That means 0 to that value. So that is 17th index. So in the index of 17, it will start from C. So let us print the last word is C, or else we can simply print using this string, and the next line we will print cptr. So now if I run it, the last word is C, because here the pointer is pointing to the last word, that is C here. So now let us do some more problems here, that is using this same thing, but we are going to use custom string length with the pointer. So for that I am going to create one function. So for that function I'll go here, I'll create it my own int. I'm going to return the string length using the pointer instead of the array index. So using this pointer, where it point starts, so it will return only that string length only. So for that I am naming it as my string length. So within this I am using constant and character. So now first remove this. So within it, first constant, my character pointer is pointing to this value. So now while my pointer is, we have to dereference it. So my pointer is not equals this value. So that time I'll increase my pointer. Now this is nothing but the last value. So now, so return, if I subtract my pointer with the string, I'll get the size of that length. So this is pointing to the first character and this is dereferencing to the value. So after that it will move pointer to the next value and it will return the index of it. So for that we will print here by calling it. So here printf, in this printing statement I will give first next line. After it pointer of, did we give any word here? We have text Chennai here. So we'll use Chennai. So in this Chennai, I want to print it. So the size would be percentage D, and after that the next line. So the value should be, I have to call the function. So my string length of my value that I'm going to give, that is text. So it is returning the size, that is 7. So what I am doing, instead of using string length, I have created my own string length method, and I am calling it and I am checking it. So I will create one more method to reverse the string using the pointers. So void, so I am naming it as print reverse. After that, I'll give constant here because I don't want, so I'll name it as string. So in this method, I want to print it in the reverse order. So constant, so I name it as end pointer. So the end pointer would be starts from string plus string length of the current string minus 1. So this is the string and this is the length minus 1, that is the last index value. So it will be point to the last value in this address. So it is last index and it is current index. So this pointer is pointing to the last value that is present in the string. So I am using while loop. So while my end value is greater than or equal to string, I will print the present character that is present in. So print my character that is pointing to this. So we have to use a star here because then only it will be dereference and print the value, and we have to reduce the value n minus minus. So after printing the whole thing, we have to print to the next line. So now print that. So before that, I want to first printf. So here I give reverse of the hello world. So within this, I'll give columns here, single quotes here. So hello and world. So after that, we'll print it. So within printing it, we just need to call it. So I'll call it print reverse. Within this, I'll give the word hello world. So now let us run it and check it is being reversed. So the word is being reversed. Now we are created a one method, that is we are reversing using the pointers instead of the size of the array. So we have seen about few problems and most of the inbuilt methods, that is string compare, and after that the characters and converting to uppercase, converting to lowercase. So the most of the mistakes what beginners do. So now we are going to first see and end this live session. So the first thing is, so let us remove it and hash include and standard input output dot-h. So int main and return 0. So as you can see, the first mistake is most of them would do too smaller size of the value. For example, character and the string like 4 or 5. So this would make main errors, and after that comparing two strings. If like S1 equals S2. So you can't use double equals here. So after that, you don't use gets here because it will stack overflow there. So make sure to use f gets and give the size of it. So that's why you will not get any errors. And one more thing, to put /0 in the string, and after that, while using string character, they have to check for null. They will not check null. So make sure to check this null. And after that, string copy and manual /0. While you are using strn copy, make sure to give the last value to /0. Sometimes it will not make it, so make sure to do that. And one more thing, if you are given constant and the value of character and percentage yes, so this is a constant string, you cannot give, that means you cannot change this value, it is only read only memory. So one more thing, that is size of